I'm currently a co-executive producer of Wings of Fire, which is being produced at Netflix and Warner Brothers.
Yeah, and I'm Krista Starr. I'm also, besides being Dan's wife, a co-EP on Wings of Fire for Netflix and Warner Brothers, adapting the fantabulous series written by Tui Sutherland.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm Tui, and I wrote the Wings of Fire series, and I'm so excited about the TV show.
I'm Emily, and I'm a reptile educator. My husband Ed and I run a reptile store, zoo, and store in Minnesota. We also run a reptile rescue in addition to that, where we deal with real life dragons, like bearded dragons that we often have for adoption. So we have the a wide array of reptiles and amphibians that we deal with on a regular basis.
So you said you were going to have mention a few of specifics that you have in your for rescue right now. So if somebody in the area wants a dragon of their very own, how do they get one?
Yeah, so we have usually at any given point anywhere from 3 to 5. I think we've had upwards of 8 at once bearded dragons available for adoption.
They make fabulous pets.
They are amazing pets, yes. Unfortunately, since they are such great beginner reptiles, a lot of people get them, decide that reptiles aren't right for them, and then they get rid of their beginner reptile, which is almost always a bearded dragon. So that's why you see them so frequently available in rescues. So we take in surrenders every day that we're open, and it seems like we get anywhere from 2 to 6 surrenders a week, and they just are dropped off. No, we don't ask any questions. There's just a liability form that people kind of fill out so we can get some information about what you've been feeding it and so on and so forth. But after a quick health inspection and a quarantine period, then we're able to adopt them out. So we have an entire island, we call it Adoption Island, in our storefronts in Minnesota, where we have our available reptiles there on display of sorts, but really they're just enclosures for them to live in until they find their new forever home. So the public can come in, and usually when people come into our store, they take an immediate right turn so they can check out and see what's currently available in Adoption Island. Now, if they want something, we definitely encourage adoptions, but we do ask that they have a setup that's appropriate for that species already set up and ready to go. So if they're not getting the setup from us, which is totally fine, we do ask that people have a picture of the setup so we can help fill in any gaps of things that they still might need, and then they can go home with a new reptile.
Yay!
That's awesome.
That's wonderful. We have to say we adopted our Beardy right about May of 2020, I think, Dan, was that it? Or a little after?
Yeah, he's a pandemic pet.
He's a pandemic pet, and he has been the cutest, sweetest, most adorable friend for our daughter, and they bonded, and his enclosure is in her room. She feeds him every day. We take him out for walks on our shoulders. He's just been a sweetheart. And surprisingly, I didn't realize this, correct me if I'm wrong, Emily, but bearded dragons don't have vocal cords.
I don't believe they do, actually.
Yeah, so they're very quiet pets.
They are. They're smelly, though. When they poop, you can smell it
That's
throughout
true.
the
You
house.
can smell that through the whole house.
Yes,
Yes,
sure can.
The poop is smelly. If you keep after it, they are themselves are not and have been very clean and not. Everest doesn't interact with his poop once it's out, and we have a very large enclosure. But we should say we did a lot of research before we adopted. He's trying to climb the wall, Everest, and
that's why we named him Everest, because he climbs to the top of everything he can get to.
I think they're a wonderful and relatively easy pet to care for and maintain once you get the initial knowledge and understanding of what they need out of the way. But we formed a routine very quickly. It's a pleasure to take care of him, and he gives us back, tenfold so much as a pet. So
they really are fantastic. And in addition to the bearded dragons, we almost always have available. We'll also have, to answer the rest of your question, Betty, sorry, I kind of diverged. We also have like leopard geckos, crested geckos. Sometimes we have, or quite often we have snakes that are surrendered, like corn snakes, ball pythons, rat snakes, or other rat snakes, I should say. We're not able to take in aquatic turtles because of the space requirements to house them even temporarily, but we take in everything else, essentially. We had a baby iguana recently. We've had blue-tongued skinks, and you just never know what's going to get dropped off.
Sand wings, ice wings, mud wings.
I just wanted to add that our best friends have a bearded dragon that they got in the pandemic too, and love it so much. His name is Artemis, and he is so beautiful.
Oh,
And they like, and like the younger daughter who's in 4th grade will like show up. She's like constantly carrying it around. And I also have never noticed a smell or a sound. The only sound is the crickets. The crickets are always.
oh yeah, the feeder crickets.
Yes.
Yeah.
But they love their dragons so much. It makes
They're
us all
full-
jealous.
So
they're full of
Yeah.
personality. Each one's a bit
They
different.
really
Like they
are.
definitely are great family pets, as long as you have the space for
I
them.
have to make sure he's okay.
We just
Where'd you
also
go, buddy?
adopted 2 cats who are not in Dan's office right now, so he is safe. But every once in a while, like they will sit on top of his enclosure, which I find hilarious because he just is so curious about what they're doing, and they're just thinking lunch.
He loves the stimulation.
So
Yeah, so if you want to learn more about in real life dragons, I suppose, there's the Snake Discovery YouTube channel. We post an educational video every Tuesday and Friday. I don't know what each one is going to be about because we just spontaneously film as animals lay eggs or as animals are born, but we always try to keep it educational, or as educational as possible. So yeah, feel free to check out Snake Discovery. Yes.
sorry to interrupt you. Before I forget, I have a request for an educational video.
Oh, sure.
This spring, I was out gardening, and a giant gravid garter snake ran out in front of my lawnmower. And the snake was fine, but it was like 3 feet from the highway. And I thought, well, what can I do to make the situation safer for her? And I realized that I've never seen, there's books on optimizing your yard for pollinators. There's books for optimizing your yard for birds, for wild mammals. I've never seen anything presented to the public on how to optimize your yard for reptiles. I mean, part of it's obvious. You don't want to be doing that if you live with a bunch of venomous snakes around, but not really,
Yeah.
not really. Probably a problem maybe in Texas and Florida, not so much in the Pacific Northwest where I live. So do you know of any resources on how do I make my yard more snake and toad and skink friendly?
I like that. You know, I've had an idea. I've wanted to make a video about how to make a toad house. There's a craft idea in I can't remember what it is, some reptiles and amphibians book where you basically take a ceramic flower pot, flip it upside down, cut a hole in the side, and you can paint it however you want. You make a toad house out of it to attract toads to your yard. And then in turn, people don't think of this part, but then in turn you can attract snakes to your yard to eat the toads. So how to make a snake friendly yard would actually be a good one, because I have a few ideas kind of popping in my mind on how you could do that. It's just the opposite of how to deter snakes from your yard. So yeah, that's a great idea.
That's fascinating.
All right, Tui.
Well, I guess the next Wings of Fire book that's coming out is book 15, which is coming in April. And it's called The Flames of Hope. And I love the cover. I'm very excited about it. And at the same time, there's going to be a Wings of Fire coloring book, which this wonderful young artist did all our art for. And I just think it's so beautiful. And I can't wait to have my own copy and just procrastinate on actually writing books by coloring my dragons.
Would you say it's more of like a kid level? Because I've done a coloring book too for Snake Discovery, and it went over very well. Cool. Is it more for kids, or is it more intricate designs for like an adult?
It's they were modeling it on sort of those Harry Potter coloring books, which are pretty intricate. So I think hopefully it'll still be fun for kids. I definitely like going through it. I was like, can we make sure to have some pages where like my kids could color one side and I could color the other. So they've got like a cute little like black and white bumblebee. The dragon's name is Bumblebee. And I've got like this elaborate scene of like Queen Glacier in the Ice Kingdom or whatever.
Nice.
But you know, it depends on the kid. I am like not an artist at all. So I'm sure that
we commissioned ours out too.
What?
We commissioned ours out to a really good artist too. I wouldn't be able to make a coloring book.
Oh yeah, no. No, this her name is Brianna and she is just amazing. Like every page just made me so happy. There's all these little tiny baby dragons in it, and it's going to be really cool, I think. So yes, the next things that are happening in the Wings of Fire publishing world, at least.
Okay, Dan.
Let's see. The last production I was associated with is Glitch Text, which I co-created with Eric Robles, and that's streaming on Netflix right now. It's a show we're extremely proud of. and a production that we really enjoyed. So since wrapping up work on season 1 of Glitch Text, I have been hard at work on Wings of Fire, and will be for quite a while yet. So we'll have something for y'all to see, I think, eventually. We're drawing a frame at a time, so
that's a good safe way to put it.
Yes.
I can't remember what it's from, but there's a line. It'll happen when it happens.
Yes. Yes, we do have obviously a schedule, but animation is slow, and it's never just a matter, I think, of producing the work. It's also at what point do the holders of this property want to release it. And so, you know, Warner Brothers and Netflix will ultimately decide when their release date will be based on when we give them the material, and then whatever they think is the appropriate time. So in the meantime, we're just having fun, like every day, pinching ourselves that we get to do this. And quite literally, that's how most meetings end, is everybody going like, we get to do this, yay! It's been such a great, friendly production. Everyone's just having a blast.
Aww.
So
well, I'm really excited about it. It's going to be amazing. Everyone has been so wonderful. So I can't wait for everyone to see all the things I've been getting to see.
Us too. Thank you.
So if you've got more questions about Glitch Text, Dan allowed me to basically type out and read all of his responses to me. So there's over on my YouTube channel, I've got 6 separate videos of Dan just going over the creative process for Glitch Text and giving us word of creator information on that, along with a bunch of other videos. And I've got 2 books out, Humans Are Weird, I Have the Data, and Humans Are Weird, We Took a Vote, and available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. That's everybody's response. Whenever I hand people the book, they look at the cover and see the title and they go, you can just hear the stress and the humor and the sadness all mixing together. I'm like, I did not realize I was going to give people that reaction.
Yep, it's true. That's us.
Well, and it's awesome to have such a title that makes you want to read the book so much. I love that.
Humans Are Weird, We Took a Vote, and Humans Are Weird, I Have the Data. 2 books in a series of human absurdity. Go check out these short story collections. What will our little green friends think of us when we finally do make it to space? Find out the answer in 2 books of human absurdity. Humans Are Weird, We Took a Vote, and Humans Are Weird, I Have the Data. Available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Kobo, and Google Play.